So today's video is about stop seeking validation. Stop looking to impress other people while you're on the football pitch. Now, what I mean by this specifically is that I realize a lot of young players growing up, they have this bad habit. Like, it's such a bad habit that just takes you out of the flow of the game, takes you out of your zone. It's literally that every single action, every single time something happens in a game, I see certain young players just constantly looking over, either looking over at the coach or looking over at like their parents, either their mom or their dad, looking for like some sort of approval, looking for their coach to be like, well done, looking for their parents to be like, well done. And it's just a bad habit because you're constantly just thinking about what you're constantly just, trying to impress other people, trying just thinking about what other people are thinking about you. And you're just not in the flow of the game. You're not there, you're not focused, you're not locked in on just doing what you need to do. Like, I made this video because I realized one of my brother's teammates in particular, every single time he'd play a pass, he'd have a shot, he'd do something, or some action in the game will happen. He's constantly looking over at his dad, just constantly looking over it. And his dad isn't even like one of them parents who are always shouting. Like, his dad's a calm guy. His dad might say, oh yeah, challenge for the header, check your shoulders, play quicker. He might just say a few words, a few phrases here and there, but he's not constantly shouting at his son. But then obviously one of my brother's teammates, this guy, he just keeps looking over him like every single time, like every 2 minutes, he's looking over his dad, looking at over at his dad, seeing what is his dad saying, what is that his dad saying to him, what's his dad's facial expressions and all of this. And I'm just thinking, I just want to tell him like, yo, you just gotta leave that all alone and just you're on the pitch by yourself. I know it's normal for like a young kid to obviously want their parents' approval, want their dad's approval, but you just gotta learn to just block everything out, in my opinion, because when you're constantly looking over, trying to see what people are thinking about you, what people are saying about you, you're just not in the flow of the game. It's the same thing with your coach as well. Like, I see a lot of my teammates do this as well. From all ages, anytime something happens, they're constantly looking at the coach to see if the coach to see the coach's facial expressions, to see if the coach is mad at them, the coach is happy at them. It happens a lot as well with the bench women. The bench women will come onto the pitch and they're constantly just looking at the coach, looking at the coach. It's almost like they're not confident in like their own game. They want the coach to make the decisions for them. They want to be told um, what to do in every single action. Like, you got to have that sort of self-confidence in yourself, that you're playing the right pass, you're making the right decision, that, all right, cool, in this position I want to take on my man. And not after every single action you're sort of just, your head's on a swivel all the time. The ball, every time the ball goes out of play, they're constantly looking for their coach's approval, constantly looking. And it's like, if you do that, you're just never going to be able to just be locked in and focused. I remember, to be fair, I can't even be hypocritical myself. I remember it happened to me one game where in the first half I was playing well, everything was going good, everything was going well. However, in the second half, my dad came out of nowhere. I don't think he was meant to come to the game. I think he just pulled up just to be like, all right, let me go watch him. And for some reason, I just kept looking over at my dad because it shocked me. It was like middle of the second half. It must have been like the 60th minute. I was playing well. And then all of a sudden, I saw my dad when the ball went out of play. And for the rest of those 30 minutes, I just kept looking at him, just kept looking at him. And I could never get back into that flow. And obviously, we still won the game, but my first 30 minutes just weren't as good as my last 30 minutes of that game just weren't as good as the first 60. So I'm telling you, if you're one of these guys who constantly looks at your coach, constantly looks at your parents, stop it, because you're never gonna. When you do that, you're never gonna be able to play your best. If you're one of these people, you probably realize that you can never just get into that zone, that flow. You always feel like you're in and out of the game, sort of thing. And you just go and obviously it's good to be aware of people's opinions, your coach's opinions on you and your teammates' opinions on you, because obviously at the end of the day that matters. Your coach's opinion matters because he's the one who plays you, and obviously your teammates' opinions matter as well, because obviously you're playing with them. You want your teammates to enjoy playing with you. You don't want to step onto the pitch and your teammates are like, oh, I gotta play with this dead guy. This dead guy's on my side. I don't want him on my side. Obviously you have to be aware of that, but keep the main thing. And obviously no one else's opinion of yourself is higher than your own. So as long as you're doing what you need to do, as long as your opinion of yourself is good, then just go out there and ball out. If you take, let's say you make a decision, you take a shot instead of passing to your teammate, and your teammate is shouting at you, he's just getting onto you, saying rah, saying this, oh you're shit this, why didn't you pass this? Just obviously just stay calm. You don't have to get emotional. Just be like, all right, cool. It was my decision. I did what I did. I'll do better next time, and then you just move on. You know what I'm saying? You take a learning lesson out of this. No matter if he says it in a bad way, a nice way, no matter how people say stuff, just take it as a learning curve for next time. Just be like, all right, cool. Next time I'm gonna pass the ball. Just take it from there. Because like I said, if you're constantly just thinking about what people are thinking of you while you're on the pitch, you're going to create anxiety, you're going to create fear. You're not going to play with that freedom, you're not going to play with that sort of carefree attitude. You're not going to want to take risks. I mean, you might want to play that through ball into your striker, but you hesitate and then you play backwards, and obviously by doing that, you're not helping your team. Just think about it to yourself. Even if there's like a crowd even if there's a big crowd in attendance, I always say this to myself, even if there's a big crowd in attendance, bro, you're not that special. Like, the spotlight is not all on you. Don't just look around and feel like, oh, everyone's looking at me. I need to. Now you're getting all nervous and that. Big man, there's 22 players on the pitch. You're just one of 22. People are just there to watch the game, just to see football. Like, you're not that special. Like, just go out there, just do your job, and just tell yourself, look, if it's 11 aside, I'm one of 22 players. The spotlight is not all. It's not all about me. The spotlight's not all on me. Not everyone's just looking at me, following my every move. It's like, that's all the mentality you have to have. You just have to say to yourself, yo, I'm just one of 22 players out here playing football. At the end of the day, it's just football. Let me do my job. If I play well, cool. If I don't play well, hey, as long as I tried, as long as I put my best foot forward, I'll learn from the mistakes I made in the game, come back stronger again. So literally, like I said, the number one bad habit I see a lot of young players do is constantly looking over to their manager, looking over to their parents, seeking for that validation, seeking for the thumbs up. And it's like, it's normal. Like I said, it's normal at a young age, but at a certain age, you gotta cut that out and just gotta say, yo, I'm focused, I'm locked in. Because it's always the best players. Their dads might shout at them, telling them to do this, and they'll be telling their dads to shut up. They'll be telling their dad, they'll never look over at their dads. They'll be telling their dad to be quiet. Let me just play the game. And you realize that those are the guys who are normally the best players. The ones who sort of are always looking over to their dad, always scared of what their dad's gonna say. Those are the players who they don't really have that much impact on the game. They find themselves on the bench a lot of the time. So just remember that when you're on the pitch, don't do that bad habit of looking over, constantly thinking what people are thinking of me, whether it's the coach, your parents, or if there's a crowd in attendance. Just say to yourself, yo, I'm here to do my job. Whatever happens, and just go out there and play your game. So that's all I got to say for this vid. Hope you enjoyed. I've been JT, and I'm out.